in the Cockburn Garden space, and it is really a pleasure to celebrate with you. We have been having some great successes in this area, and we want to continue to partner with you. Let me officially welcome His Worship the Mayor, Delroy Williams. Put your hands together for him. We're happy that he has taken time, and I know this is his area, to share with us, and in a short while you'll hear from him. Then I want to recognize Acting ACP Steve McGregor, who is here representing Area 4. Yes, good to see you, Mr. McGregor. And then our commanding officer, Mr. Damian Mandison, Superintendent of Police. And everybody around here should know Mr. Mandison. Yes, Mr. Mandison. Then our operations officer, Mr. Ron Ritchie, Deputy Superintendent of Police. He's somewhere around. Yes, he's waving over there. Good to have you, Mr. Ritchie. I want to just let you know that this is a joint effort with many stakeholders. And so I want to recognize Mr. Jerome Milford from the Jamaica Fire Brigade, and he's on stage on the drums. Come on, give it up for the Jamaica Fire Brigade. And we have several other officers who are here. I want to recognize Woman Inspector Novlet Walters. I think the entire division knows Miss Walters. Mama Walters, she is our welfare officer. She is our intervention officer. And every crisis in the division, you know that Inspector Walters is always showing up. Would you put your hand together and help me? And she's one of the driving forces behind this intervention. And then all the members of the, I won't call their names, the St. Andrew South Division, the persons, the moderator, MC Allen, Constable Allen, the others from CSSB and the others from operations, and those who are here, I want to especially welcome you. I want to recognize you and to thank you. But you would forgive me if I don't mention your rising star in this area, young Akif Nugent. Put your hands together for Akif and all the children who are around us. I want to just recognize them. And then I met some lovely ladies since we started the planning some weeks ago. Kadeen, who is helping us with the internet, Tina and Stacy, and so many others. And I have to call their names because they're helping us with some of the things for the logistics of this evening's event. Ladies and gentlemen, just turn to your neighbor now beside you and say, it's good to see you. Come on, turn to somebody and say, it's good to see you. Come on, turn to the person beside you again and say, it's good to see you. Constable Allen, your time.
Thank you so much, sir. Watch here. We have our Citizens Association groups. We have our District Consultative Committee groups, and we are inviting you to come and be a part of it. And so we have our police youth clubs all over, and now I want to tell you that we're extending them in the schools. So far we have 3, and that is active. We are about to launch another 5. Wow. And that is a good thing. So I just want you to enjoy the evening, because we're here at your beck and call. And as our able moderator said, it's only some first when you go to get them things there now. You don't want to hear a little thing from me? I told me can't sing. Alright, it's raining.
Anthony. A pearl, we wanted it to shine. A light, we wanted our city to become a moral leader in the Caribbean. That we have to have values, and that we have to also develop a generation of children who are problem solvers. So we realized that we had to create a city that we were educating and growing our children to be problem solvers. But not only solving problems in Kingston and St. Andrew, not only solving problems in Jamaica, but solving problems across the Caribbean and across the globe. Because indeed we have many problems across Jamaica, many problems across the Caribbean that need solutions. But the solutions come from our people. The solutions come from our children, our young people, and how they are grown and nurtured and how they are matured. And if our children are going to become problem solvers, then we have to let them explore what we call the creative faculties. We have to give them the opportunity to explore in education, to search for knowledge, and to search for truth. That is a gift that as parents we need to give our children if we are going to solve a lot of the problems we have in this country. Today I laid a wreath at the Secret Gardens Monument in memory of children who have died under violent and tragic circumstances. Those are children that have died and that could have been, hello? Those are children that would have been serious contributors to the society that we live in. But their lives were cut short by violence. And the media asks, what is the solution, Mayor? What do you think would be the solution for the violence against children and generally violence in the society? For one, I said and I had to say that the solution is not found in one entity. The solution can be found only in the JCF. The police has a role, and the police role is, and they're doing so now, is to enhance their investigative capability, to gather their intelligence, to be able to carry a case from the investigative stage all the way to the prosecution in the court system. And the police is building that capability. But then you have to look at another side, the side of parenting. We can't solve the issue of violence by only police work. We have to solve the problem of violence by all of us getting involved. And if you take it right down to the ground level or to the basic of parenting. So my appeal to you today, before I close, is that as parents, we have a sacred responsibility in this country to address the issue of violence. We can't lay back and sit back every day and say it's a police problem, it's a government problem. Because if we do that, we're never ever going to solve the problem. Because it's also a parenting problem. It's also a parenting problem and much more. So it needs all our efforts. And so since we are here today, and where many parents are here, and many very good parents, and I know all parents wish the best for their children. When you talk to some of the persons who community regard as some of the persons who have gone astray, all of them want good for their children. Many don't want their children to follow their footsteps. It means that all of us want good for our children, which means that we have to now begin to take a hold of ourselves as parents and let's address the issues that contribute to violence in their later years. Because something must be wrong in the early years for our young people, for our children and young people to become violence producers. Something must be wrong somewhere. And I'm saying as parents and as a community, let's begin to evaluate our role and play our part in addressing this issue. And as parents, we mean all of us. We mean the mayor as a parent. The police are there, they are parents also. And they too have a role in ensuring that their children grow up to be productive citizens of this country. Resourceful and productive. It's not beyond us. The last thing I will say, I grew up in this community. I was born at home, not at the hospital. I was born at home in Cockburn Pen. My brothers and sisters grew up here. I know the mayor of Kingston. The mayor of Kingston. It's not an insignificant position. Not an insignificant position. It's an achievement for someone who was born in this community. My brother is a member of parliament for Central Kingston. He was born here, grew up here, walked these streets to school. And so, young children, I appeal to you now as I close. Children, the world is before you. There are many things that you can do to enhance this world. This country, Jamaica, is before you. You are its future. Your contribution will make it a very good country.
It is indeed a big deal. It is with great pride that I stand here in the position of the big deal, Mr. Nugent. I just want to say a thank you to all the community members and other persons passing by. We want to say a big thank you again to the JCF Jamaica Constabulary Force for doing this indeed gospel concert. It is indeed a big deal again from the desk of Akeith Nugent. I greet you well. Big up to the mayor, His Excellency Delroy Williams, for taking a time out of your busy schedule to be here, and Mr. Paul Pink, our caretaker. This community is in need of a community center. They are very talented children in our community, but we need the right leadership and the right centers to pursue our talents. So if we can get a community center or something to build back the community every 2 weeks, it will make the place to be a better place to live, work, raise family, and do business. Thank you again. It's a what? It's a what? It's a what? Bawa Bawa. Niggas Lenawa. It is what? It's a big deal. Yes, alright.
This is a man, and I will say this. I have been a police officer for over 40 years. And even though I just look over 30, I've been in the JCF for over 40 years. And I've never seen a mayor that is so involved. And I'm not saying this because he's here. Every function that the police have, even if we don't invite him, guess what? He's there. The man is real. I'm going to have a big help, Mr. Mayor. You have led from the front, and I appreciate that big time. So, man, listen, the man who is in charge of the St. Andrew South Division, Sir Richie, we call him Law and Order, Sir Minto, let you know a little secret out of the back, might not be in the St. Andrew South Division for much longer. He's going on to higher heights, but he has tread his path here and learn and taking it elsewhere. But we'll talk more about that in due course. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you know anything about me, it's about community engagement. It's about policing with the consent of the citizen. I will say that again. Policing with the consent of the citizens. This, what you're seeing here this afternoon, is not only a feel-good effort, It is the police coming out to you. It is the police making a connect with you, because it is important. Because if you are to be a part of any policing strategy that we want to use to police you, you must be a part of it. And as Richie said earlier, normally you would see two police vehicles blocking off two sides of the road. People would come up and say, who there? You know what I mean? And it is not so. It is the police blocking off two sides of the road for you to gather, to connect with us. We want you to take advantage of that. You notice the man at the helm of St. Andrew South is here because Mr. Mandisa wants you to know that he is the top man at the police stationed at Unspe, and he's not sitting in his office. He's out here for you to know him, so that you can come and see him and connect with him. That is what I did when I was the commander at Kingston Central, when I was the commander at West Kingston. And any of you know what happened then. That is the kind of policing that Mr. Mandisa wants to bring here in St. Andrews South. Yes. And it can work, and it will work if you meet him halfway. That's all you have to do. Meet him halfway. Our young people in this country makes up the bulk of those who are murdered in this country. Now, did you know that? Our young people, 17 and down. And when you say down, it goes all the way down to the toddlers. And guess what again? Our young people make up the bulk of those who are doing the killing in this country. Yes. So we must focus on them. And one of the reasons why we're here is for us to influence their attitudes. So we're not just here just for the feel-good effort. We're here and we're mixing with you and we're speaking to you one way. Ms. Walters and her team, they're engaging with the youngsters to get them in the police youth clubs, to get them in the homework program, to get them to be a part of the curfew program, to get them off the street so they don't fall prey to those who want to lure them into the gang violence. You heard Ms. Walters, or it was Mr. Mandisa who spoke about it, and that is one of my pet peeves. We know that there are a lot of children here in Cockburn Pen who are not going to school. You know that? We know, you know. Because the due diligence has been done, and there are citizens who are taught your get out of jail card is to link with Ms. Walters and her team. So don't be too proud to ask for help. You see how involved the mayor is? If you call him, he will assist you. He will put you on to the police. So don't let it be said that you were told and you don't take heed to it, because we are going to do that to you. I am one of those who grew up in the inner city also. I was one who grew up in a police youth club, and I am now all the way to the top of the police force. So it can happen. Not because of where you are from, it can happen. We want you to be a part of that. The other thing that I ask of you is that when our police officers come into your community, do not, and I beg of you, do not interfere with them doing their duty. It is becoming a relation to be up in the police face and doing that. Give the police an opportunity to do his job. You will cause him to see something that is going wrong in your view. Make a note of their duty. I beg of you, ladies and gentlemen. The other thing that I want you to do too, and this is something that you heard Mr. Mandisa say, he has copped a lot of things that I used to do when I was in either Kingston Central or in Kingston West. And I know he will do this too. Dances is something that you thrive on in communities like these. But if shots are being fired in your community, you won't get any dance. If people are being murdered in your community, you won't get any dance. No. So we want you to have a vested interest in not causing any shots to be fired or any people to be murdered. And in that way, you will get your dances. And I know Mr. Mandisa is just like me, where if you invite Mr. Mandisa to your dances, the dance will go on until when Mr. Mandisa leaves, because you know him as a big man. And he will do that. You understand what I'm saying? So create that kind of relationship with your police officers. I beg of you, create that kind of rapport with your police officers. It will work in your favor. This is excellent. When I heard about the youngster Akeem Nugent and they were calling him Rising Star, I was thinking of the normal Rising Star thing, you know, where he can sing and he's on that program Rising Star, because I didn't know of him. But when you see a youngster exhibiting that kind of organization, he's of the same age group with the group that he's leading, that is good, because they will listen to him and he's right there with him. We must encourage that. And this is good, and I'm looking forward to see him grow from strength to strength. It's the first that I'm seeing it. Where's Akeem? Come up a little while from my son. No, I'll tell you this, and I'll show the big this. I am not a man that is as rich as the mayor or any other people. But you see, because it's the first time I'm seeing him, and I want to encourage him to go further. This is just me saying big up to you, young boy. And this is, I'm trying to find one of the pretty money. You see the pretty money we have? Yeah, just use it how you see it fit. Your bossy man, touch me. Yes. And that is good. And that is really, really good. And you know what I mean? I have so much things to say, but just seeing what he did, you know what I mean, it made goose pimples come over me. And we have this unusual heat that has taken over the country recently. I don't know why, but you have to be careful with your kids. It's really a different kind of heat. So when you're home, so basically you can rub down the kids and not to get them too, you know, much in the heat, get them hydrated as much as possible, because it is not in looking real. But I'm not going to say a lot more than to ask of you to support our police officers. Support our police officers while they are out there doing their duty, and they will support you. This is good, St. Andrew South, and it is a beginning, and we are on the right path. Thank you all. No, I'm not supposed to.
All right, put your hands together one more time for Assistant Commissioner of Police. My God. Encouragement, sweet labor. Akeem, big up yourself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.